Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk to you about peace. So peace is an interesting concept, especially if you have come from the opposite. So I know from my experience, the idea of peace and letting go felt extremely difficult. And it felt like everyone was just kind of talking about, just let go, just be at peace, just let go. And I was often feeling, how do I just let go? And there wasn't really much of a conversation about it in spiritual communities that I could find. And people that were not in that dilemma would have trouble relating. So I kind of actually did a study of it where I asked different people, well, how do you let go? I asked multiple people, and often people did not have a detailed response for me. And I need to tell you about what I learned about letting go and how I'm able to let go now. I learned that letting go and peace is a choice. It is a choice, and that's what people don't really say. It is also something that requires trust. I felt like that was the other thing that people don't talk about. Often, if you have had a significant enough background of feeling trust with life, you are not going to have too big a problem with letting go, meaning letting go of thought, letting go of an issue in life. We all do have challenges, but letting go of things that appear simple or easy to let go of, or even just the concept for meditation. This was really challenging for me as someone who had the opposite experience with life. And people who have a trust in life are not really aware that they have that. They're not aware that they have it because they don't know what it's like to not have it. They may have moments of it, but there's a secure attachment, basically, a background of trust with life. And that is what allows you to flow with life, to not resist life, and thus be in peace with life. Peace is the art of non-resistance, non-attachment, acceptance. So letting go, how to let go, is deciding in yourself, I choose to let go of this thought or this problem or this something. If you try to make that decision in yourself and you can't do it, there's a deeper part of you that is still holding on, and we want to question why. And often it's because it doesn't feel safe to let go. It doesn't feel safe to be, whether it's trusting in life, it doesn't feel safe to be in an unknown relationship with life, especially if your relationship, your attachment with life has been very difficult. You have an overlay on that relationship where you feel like any move you make, you're going to run into difficulty. So what ended up happening for me, and probably for others it will happen that way, is that you end up realizing that holding on is hurting too much and not getting you anywhere. Holding on and doing whatever you've been doing so far actually hasn't been helping you. It's that realization, looking around at the situation or whatever you're experiencing, saying holding on to this isn't working for me. Like it's not getting me where I want to go. You have that conscious realization, then there can sometimes be a decision to let go. To be like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. That's the scary part. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to let go anyway because I do know that holding on has not been good. That is the most freeing thing, a really freeing thing that I learned. Because I had, when you have difficult experiences in life, you become very controlling of experience, of life. The reason for that is the survival mechanism. If you grew up in a household where you weren't emotionally or physically safe, you're going to have very strong survival mechanisms and conditionings in yourself. And that really, that's there because that served you at the time to be constantly on edge, to be constantly vigilant. But now it's not serving you when you want to let go and trust in life. So it's about recognizing how right now that's not helping. Also with letting go, we can talk about, for mindfulness and things like that, if I know that there's some people that are talking about trauma sensitive mindfulness, I should side note, which looks really cool. I haven't looked into it, but I think it's a good idea. Because when you have had significant difficulty, when you try to be present or you try to just let go, you will run up into your resistances. And even people that haven't had that significant difficulty or trauma, we have resistances. And we need to know what to do with them. We need to be told what to do with that. I was like, help! And I couldn't find anything. And I learned through experience and listening to my spirit guides and having them teach me about what I needed to do and listening to my intuition. And so for meditation, just as an example, what happens is you go inside, you go within, and all the noise is there. And meditation is about observing thought and letting things rise and fall, noticing that that's what thoughts do. If your thoughts are what I call charged thoughts, there is a trauma attached to them. And if you've had difficulty in life, there's going to be many thoughts that are charged and highly charged. They're the ones that keep going over and over, and you get sucked into the train of them, into participating instead of observing very quickly or strongly. And it is a great challenge to let go of charged thoughts, because the consciousness is rolling that around in your mind because it wants to be released. It needs. There are unmet needs here. There's unresolved trauma here. And that's why it's electrically charged. And it's attached to actually what I call trauma portals. It's attached to the part of yourself that has been holding that pain for you. It's almost another layer of consciousness. It's like that wounding. And the consciousness starts to get sucked into that. That's why people who have a flashback say that they feel sucked in. Because actually your consciousness does start to travel. If you have significant enough trauma, it will travel into that portal back to the time and place where the difficult event happened. That's probably another video. But so there's all this stuff behind thoughts that makes them charged and makes them difficult to just watch and let go. And what you need to be willing to do, though, doesn't mean you can't. It just means you have to acknowledge that it's going to require some strength. You have to say, this is here. You have to accept it, because if we're trying to meditate, we'll probably start trying to, just let it go, just let it go. And you end up adding another layer of resistance to your difficulty. The resistance of not accepting that the thought and the charges have come. So then you're being asked to allow this highly charged thing to pass through you. Sometimes we can let it pass through us, and this is what I'm talking about. When you can, it may be challenging, but you can. And that's where we just say in ourselves, this is here. And you're neither pushing away nor pulling towards it. It's here, and you breathe, which anchors you into the now. And then it will pass. But these charged thoughts are very grabby. If you give them a little bit of attention, it's like, ah! That's because there is that innate drive for healing. The consciousness, I think, it's a loving intention. It wants to come into alignment with a higher perspective. So that's why things come up when we meditate. We start increasing our vibration, and so we start wanting to the lower frequencies, lower things that need to be cleansed or cleared come up. But if you are me from a few years ago and you need to work out how to let go, or even if you're not and it's just something useful for you, you need to recognize that it's a choice. When that charged thought comes up, it's here, I'm allowing it, I'm breathing, I'm allowing it. If you start to get overwhelmed, That means that there is significant enough trauma attached that it may not be the best time for you to be meditating right now. It also may require that you just ground into the now. So you do mindfulness exercises that are based in being present with the senses. Open your eyes, look around the room, notice that you're safe and okay. Notice the colors, listen to the sounds, feel the physical breath going up and down in your chest or your belly. Things like this are required to help you pull your consciousness away from that and to where you want it to be. So letting go is a choice. It's a decision inside, and there's no other way around it. And it's okay if we have to be like, if I want to let go and I can't. Why don't I want to let go? What am I afraid of? And this is where the safety and trust thing comes up. If you don't trust, there is a really valid reason for that. And often though, we are required to create a surrender. Our feeling that we can't trust life is based on past experiences. The now moment is a beautiful new moment that could be anything. That's the truth. It is a now moment, a new moment. And we want to recognize that all we can do at that point is surrender and is try to trust. Because what you've been doing so far has only been hurting you. And we want to remember that it's okay that this takes time. And I speak from experience that trusting in life is a process that you have to learn. And you learn it first though by taking that giant leap of trusting in your heart or trusting in your spirit, i.e. life, to be okay for you. And what we learn about trust as well is that ultimately trusting is not going to make you 110% safe. It's not going to make bad things not happen. But what we realize is that if we put our trust and faith in our spirit, in the higher courses and paths that direct our life, and our internal spiritual power and sense of direction, and our heart, that no matter what does or doesn't happen, we will be okay. And that is what you are putting the trust in. You're not putting the trust in that life is going to be perfect and flow super smooth. You're putting the trust in that life is going to be the perfect life for you, and that through it all, you have you to anchor yourself to. You have the skills and the tools within to move through anything. And that is what creates a deep, the right kind of trust with life. And this combination of trust and letting go, trust coming through surrender and bravery and courage to just do what your intuition says, what your heart says, or what you know is right. This combination is what creates freedom and peace. It creates peace because peace is the act of not resisting what is allowing what is completely. If you have that trusting flow and anchor within yourself, you can have anything and everything happen or not happen in life and trust it completely. You trust in the reverberations of your connection with your higher self that is always leading you to deeper light, your home, your spirit, your heart. And I can tell you from experience that is what I have learned. And if you know my background, you know that it was extremely difficult. And I'm still learning along with you. But when you have that kind of experience, when you have resistance, it feels opposite to that part of you. It feels like that's not what I need more control. But I promise you that if you practice trust and flow and letting go through choice and choosing to let go, you will be able to become peace. You will be able to become peace.